What's up guys, Zenigami here, and we're gonna go through a couple of notifications out in Japan. First of all, we've got a Sugo-Fest coming for Japan. It's the 1.5 million downloads Sugo-Fest. We're gonna have, it's basically just a repeat Sugo. The characters that are actually out on this list are, we've got all the 6-star characters. All the 6-star characters, I'll just leave it up here and read the names off that I actually have. All the 6-star characters: Sabo, Marco, Log Luffy, Ace, Shanks, blah 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 blah. We've got the revolutionaries like Koala, Hack. We've got Doma, Oars, Strongworld, all the Strong Worlds, Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp. We've got a couple of the warlords. We've got well, I guess Jinbei's the only warlord. So we got Jinbei, we got Kid, we've got X-Drake, we've got Hawkins, Uruji, Marco, Version 1 Ace, Blamenko, Namor, Kuriel, and Izo. Those are all the characters that have rate up. And you can find a full list of all the rate up on the Japan side of One Piece Treasure Cruise blog, which is back online! The Japan One Piece Treasure Cruise blog is back online. The new website is optc-guide.com. That's a new website. If you go to the English version of the One Piece Treasure Cruise website, click on Japan, it links you over to the Japan side, just like it did before. So the new website is optc-guide.com. It is now a website, but we're still calling it the blog because Enies Lobby is out now. There's a Robin you get on Enies Lobby. There's a couple CP9 characters. I can go over who you actually get from Enies Lobby. There's Kashi. Kashi is a int slasher. He's one of the giants. He's an int slasher. There's Oimo. Oimo is a heart impact character. He's the other giant. There's Bakersville. He's a dex slasher. So we got a int slasher giant. We've got a Sigh impact giant. We've got a dex slasher giant. We've got Bluno. Bluno is a strength brawler. We've got, and of course, and the most important part of all the characters to drop, we have Robin. Oh, wonderful crying Robin. Makes my heart go doki doki. Robin, of course, is one we'll talk about, the most important one. Robin is a Sigh brawler. Her captain ability is 1.5 times recovery, totally useless. Her special is reduce lock and captain silence for 3 turns. So a pretty decent special for. She's basically like a Sigh Helmeppo, but it's only. It's a release lock and captain silence, so it's not just captain lock, it's lock and captain silence for 3 turns. So she's basically your improved Sigh Helmeppo. Decent sub, terrible captain. Bluno, the bull guy with the horns, your strength brawler. His captain ability is still terrible, 1.5 times attack and health for strength units. His special is swap your captain's orb and Bluno's orb to strength. So kind of an okay orb manipulation, not great orb manipulation. Baskerville, the 3-headed judge, his captain ability is strength, speed, so red, blue, and green units gain 1.25 times attack and health. Once again, more shitty captain abilities all around. His special is an orb manipulation ability, a kind of funky one. Change heart, knowledge, tandem, and food orbs, so that's yellow, purple, tandems, and foods, into empty, strength, dex, and speed orbs. So, kind of a useful orb manipulation ability. It's more useful if you wanted to combo it with like an Izo. It's pretty good with Izo if it didn't give you empty orbs. So the addition with empty orbs on his special makes his special a lot less useful. If it just gave you swapped the first types of orbs into red, green, and blue orbs, that would be amazing to use with Izo. That's basically another way to get full dex orbs. But since it gives you empties, that makes his use special a lot less useful. Oimo, the Heart Impact Giant. Captain ability is 2.25 times health for Sigh units. Can you guess? More terrible captain abilities. His special is deal 15 times his attack to all enemies and change his own orb to yellow. So an okay unit, but not one you're actually going to use. He's just kind of a collectible. And Kashi, the Int Slasher Giant, the one we start out with. His captain ability is just like Oimo, 2.25 times health for Int characters. And his special is he locks himself for 5 turns and reduces all incoming damage by 30%. A really interesting character. We've seen self-locking in... the only other self-locking I can think of is the Starfish, whose name I completely lost right now. From Cammy and Hot John's takoyaki cooking stand, blah 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 blah. But he actually locks himself for 5 turns and reduce all incoming damage for 5 turns. So you can lock yourself and then use someone like... use any unlocker you have, unlock himself, you get all your 6 characters back, and then you have 30% reduced damage for 5 turns. 5 turns, pretty long time for 30% reduced damage. Might be useful if you have something that just stalls out for a while. Papoog, yeah, and Usopp too, and Afro Luffy. Yep. That's most of the important drops from Enies Lobby. I've got my tutorial videos for for Nami's 30 Stamina Island and Nolan's 30 Stamina Island up. I would recommend you guys farm for your Khalifas, your Rob Luccis, and your Frankies first, because these 3 islands are only going to be out for 3 days, and then we're going to switch to the Young Buggy and Young Buggy and regular Arlong Island for 3 days. So I would recommend you farm these first, because they will be disappearing very soon. At least try to get 1 copy of each character so you can use them when you need to. Nolan's Island is going to be around for the full 2 weeks, so you got lots of time to farm for Nolan. Nolan and Kalgar are actually 2 pretty useful characters. They are quite useful specials. Nami, oh Nami, you are looking good, Nami. Ooh, baby, you look good. Best thing about Nami is just feeding herself to herself for orbs, but you most likely want to level up your Tao Namis to get more orbs on your Tao Nami. Nami herself, not the best unit. She's outclassed by Miss Doublefinger, but if you don't have Miss Doublefinger, Nami makes a pretty good Dex stat booster, Dex attack booster. And last but not least is the Aokiji Training Island. Now, Aokiji Training Island, we did guess right. We actually get Aokiji's bike. We get to get Aokiji's bike as a ship. How great is that we're actually riding on Aokiji's icy bike? So Aokiji's bike starts out at 1.2 times attack and health for impact characters and reduces your chance of getting food orbs. That's good and bad. Both good and bad. You know, when you reduce the chance of getting food orbs, that means you're basically increasing the chance of getting a matching orb or a tandem orb. But it basically increases your chance of getting a matching orb just slightly, because you're taking food orbs on a lower priority as the other orbs. But Aokiji's bike costs like 25 cola to level up on the first stage. So Aokiji's bike is going to take a lot of cola to upgrade. A bicycle that goes over the ocean is often quite hard to build compared to a full-fledged ship, no? But Aokiji's bike at full levels at max level, will give you 1.5 times attack, 1.5 times health for impact characters. Unfortunately, not the freedom ship that I was hoping for. But it does also reduce the chance of getting food orbs. Once again, kind of good, kind of bad. Gives you more chance of getting orbs, but you can't heal as often, just like Mihawk's ship. Basically, it's like Mihawk's ships for slashers. More health, more attack, less recovery. Anyways, that's most of the stuff for Japan. Don't forget, we're going to have all the new stuff coming on Japan towards the end of the month. Let me just pull it up. Next, after Nami leaves, we're going to get Perona. We've already had Robin. We're getting Nami. We're going to have Perona. And we're going to get Summertime Vivi. Ooh, so nice summertime. Summertime Vivi, we are going to be able to get the same time as the Triple Islands, Perona, Nami, and Robin. And the most exciting part that we're all waiting for is the triple raid bosses. Triple raid bosses. So with Sugofest coming out, a lot of people are wondering, should you spend gems for Sugofest or should you spend gems for the raid bosses? And honestly, that is completely up to you. It is completely up to you. I would highly recommend getting at least enough gems to get at least one of each raid boss. And that how many gems that takes depends on what level your characters are at and how many gems you think you're going to take. Dofi is probably going to take you the most gems. Aokiji has pretty difficult fodder stages, but Aokiji himself, not as bad gem-wise as Dofi. And Enel's somewhere in between, probably. So definitely at least get yourself one copy of Dofi, get yourself one copy of Enel, get yourself one copy of Aokiji. Save yourself enough gems for those at a minimum. And then feel free to spend a nice number of gems on the Sugofest. It is a repeat Sugofest. We don't have anyone new. You don't have anyone that's not like no more 6 stars, anything like that. So if you already partook in the last Sugofest with Sabo, you can feel free to skip this one. Personally, I missed the last Sugofest, as you can tell, because I didn't have a pulse video up. But I will probably be doing a couple pulls at least for this Sugofest, and you'll see, of course, that video up once it's out. So after Franky, Rob, Lucci, and Khalifa comes out, we will have Buggy, Shanks Island together in Arlong. Then we'll have the Kimonos and Domino, and the Okama Island and Croc. Anyways, Ivan Zenigami, there's so much stuff coming out in Japan. I can't believe we have a Sugofest in between all this other stuff. And meanwhile, Global, we're just sitting on our hands, hoping for more box spaces. Ivan Zenigami. Namco Bandai, please give us box spaces. Please. I really want more box spaces. Y'all stay beautiful. Oh yeah, guys, before I forget, there is actually stuff going on Global. We have half stamina weekly islands, so that's half stamina, seahorses, crabs, dragons, whatever. Especially dragons, very useful because it makes them a lot cheaper. 15 stamina for Rainbow Dragon versus 30 stamina for Rainbow Dragon. So much nicer. And we're going to have friend point pulls. We're going to have turtles from friend point pulls coming out soon. Now is the time to use your friend point pulls. It will be out probably in a couple hours after releasing this video. Make sure that it is after. It will be out at the same time as Alvida's Island. So do not friend point pull until you'll see Alvida's Island out. Once Alvida's Island is out, then you can do your friend point pulls and you've got your chance of turtles. Anyways, y'all stay beautiful.